The amount that Jerry's asked for, the way the numbers are sequenced, it's significant if you know the history.
The numbers represent a run of cards. It's the dead man's hand. You know, the cards that
Wild Bill Hickok was holding when he was shot dead.
Yeah, that's right. 2 8s, 2 aces, and a jack of diamonds.
Okay. So he contaminates the water supply, the entire town gets sick. He can ransom the antidote for any amount of money. Why base it on the dead man's hand?
I don't know. I mean, the cards, they did play a big part in our family history. Mine and Jerry's.
Pleasure again. What brings you to my dungeon?
You and I have some business to discuss, Mr. Craig. Can I call you Jerry?
Well, I think you and I have no further business, except to thank you for access to the cable franchise. It worked out beautifully.
For you. Because you're a sadist. The rest of us are not having such a great day. I never would have taken your money if I'd known what you were going to do.
Well, if I hadn't gone on the air to announce it, I mean, nobody would have known that days were numbered.
Yeah, because you poisoned them.
Consider it a public service.
Well, when people call me a sociopath...
Do you know, the only thing that went awry is that I couldn't complete my broadcast.
What would you have said if you hadn't run into technical difficulties?
Well, to be more accurate, I ran into Jason Morgan's fist.
Shame he didn't kill you.
Such hostility doesn't bode well for a successful negotiation.
Fine. Let's negotiate. What do you want in exchange for the antidote?
I'll tell you what I want. 88,111,000. If you're having trouble picturing it, that's 2 8s, 3 1s, 3 zeros.
Why such a crazy number?
I'd say it's one of great significance to my family.
My father acquired the dead man's hand years ago.
The actual cards?
Yes, the very ones. He believed that they brought him luck. He never got sick, managed to acquire a great amount of wealth, and raised a loving family.
Loving, except for Jerry.
Jerry wasn't always like this. Not when we were growing up. Jacksons were a tight-knit bunch.
Your dad thought it was because of some cards?
Yes. He credited those cards for every good thing that ever happened to him. The cards were stolen from my father. He spared no expense trying to find them. But as the search grew hopeless, he got weaker and weaker, and eventually fell into a deep depression. He begged me to find the cards and bring them back.
Okay, but how are they connected to you, brother? And can it lead us to where he's hiding the counteragent? Why is he tying the ransom amount to the dead man's hand?
Excuse me, Lieutenant. Mayor Lomax wants to speak to you on the phone.
Tell the mayor I will call her when I have something to report.
Whoever put you in charge didn't do you any favors, did they?
I assume no one else wanted the job.
Are you guys feeling a little weird?
Are you okay?
I'm just a little warm.
Yeah?
Yeah, Jax, go ahead. Tell John about Jerry and the cards.
You sure?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Hey, can you start with how your father got them?
My father was always vague about the details, but I was under the impression that he acquired the dead man's hand in a card game.
Okay. How did your brother fit in with all this?
He didn't.
Okay, if he's not connected to the dead man's hand, why mention it in the ransom
I don't
demand?
know. But before any of us get any sicker, I'm going to find out.
Let me get this straight. You want almost 100 million. Why not just ask for the whole thing?
You know, I didn't want to be unreasonable.
Oh,
What
no.
about you? You're a wealthy man.
Well, not that wealthy.
Well, no lives that you want to save?
My kids are out of town, thankfully, and the one that lives here, she's on her way to Vegas.
There's no one else you care about?
There might be someone. Not sure. But even then, that still only makes 2, including myself.
Well, what about your friends in the 1%?
Friends?
Can't you convince them to cooperate?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of friends.
Well, you'd be surprised how many people will want your friendship when they discover that you can acquire the cure.
Yeah, I just want them to love me for who I really am.
Well, perhaps you can convince the local law enforcement to sign in on the crusade. They seem to think that... You all right? They seem to think that if I sit still long enough, that I'll give them the counteragent, or they'll find it. They won't. By the way, how are you feeling?
I'm fine. Just fine.
make up your mind very quick. Pay the cash or bargain with God. If I were you, I'd put my faith in the money and raise lots of cash while you still can.
Fine. I'll get you your money, although I'm not sure what you're gonna do with it in here.
Oh, it's a temporary state, I can assure you.
Right. You have an exit strategy.
Of course, always.
So, I'm here. Deal with me. Now, I'm not exactly sure how you weaseled your way in here, but time's up. Let's go.
Is that Sweet Sam? Oh, I missed you. You look a little pale, though. Are you still on board with the lieutenant's plan? Hmm?
Go to hell.
Oh, come on. Where's your killer with a heart of gold, darling?
Let's go, Sam. I'll deal with
I thought you wanted to die in Jason's arms. Sam? Are we not on speaking terms? Darling? I guess not. The cards, come on. Could you please get me a chess set, rock climbing magazines, something?
The dead man's hand. In case you forgot how much money you're trying to extort.
Well, it's a good number. Meant a lot to dear old Dad.
He loved you, Jerry.
He loved you more. Oh, come on, come on. Don't deny it. We all adored you. Now, you were the best of us, Jax. And we wanted you to have a charmed life, you know? Even if it meant cutting a few corners along the way. You weren't supposed to know how bad he was. And when you found out, wasn't a surprise that Dad put the blame on me and cut me loose. He wanted you to retain the illusion that he was a good man.
Why can't you let him rest in peace? What does terrorizing innocent people have to do with our father?
What did I do? I have money. A lot of people in this town have money. Jerry wants money. Let's give him the money. Let's make this whole thing end.
What's the matter with you, huh? Beyond the obvious. What kind of message are you sending? You poison our water supply, we'll give you millions of dollars. You'll have every crackpot in the country doing the
Yeah,
same
but at least
stunts.
I'm doing something. What are you doing? You're doing nothing. That's your strategy.
That's what you're
gonna
coming
do
up
nothing?
with? Hey. Hey, you okay? You sure?
Sam, what's your take on this? Don't you think we have to give Jerry money?
Stop.
I know you don't like me right
Todd,
now, okay?
please. My throat is raw. My body hurts everywhere.
Yeah.
I have one hell of a headache.
Exactly. You want the headaches to get worse? Or we raise the money, we give it to Jerry before we all wind up in the ground.
Our father would be proud that his cards inspired my asking
I
price.
really don't think so, Jerry.
You know, that man put more faith in the dead man's hands than he did anyone or anything else. So by putting faith into it too, I'm honoring our
You could have honored him by showing up on his deathbed. He asked for you. You know that, right?
He asked and I was there. Right there. I saw you at his bedside making promises that you couldn't keep.
I promised Dad I'll find the dead man's hand and bring it back to you. Now I'll get you better. You just gotta hold on a little longer, okay? Dr. Keenan. Yes, Mr. Jackson. I know this might sound crazy, especially to a psychiatrist, but my father believes that his life depends on something called the dead man's hand.
He mentioned it, yes, I'm familiar.
Okay, good. I'm getting very close to finding it, and I promised my dad that I would bring it to him. I just need you to help him hold on to hope until I return.
No, of course. And I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure he gets the best care he deserves.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You passed me in the hall and you didn't recognize me because I'd already changed my face.
You were there and you didn't tell me?
Why would I?
Because I needed your help. We could have tracked those cards down together,
Why
Jerry.
would I do that? Because I was the one who stole them in the first place.
It wasn't just about revenge, Elizabeth. It was about honor.
And honor compelled you to seek revenge against a man who was literally on his deathbed?
I promised my dad that I would make the man who ruined his life pay. I was finally going to be able to keep that promise. My whole life had led me to this one moment. And I finally had John Jax's life in my hands. my father.
Hey, what's that you're giving him?
911 is swamped with people calling in saying they're starting to get sick, and there's a huge crowd outside that's demanding to know what GH and the PCPD are planning on doing about the situation, sir.
Tell the press the doctors at GH are working with the CDC to develop a cure. Go.
Oh, yeah, a whole city of sick people is going to accept that as a solution. How about you, Sam? Does that work for you?
I just don't want Jerry to get what he wants, that's all.
So that we're gonna die? It's just money. We give him money. It's not even your money.
Pay him. You'll end up with nothing, and you have copycats from here to Tuesday, all right? While the doctors are isolating a counteragent, we're gonna find the one that Jerry Jacks already has.
Okay. You have any clue where that is?
You stole the cards?
Oh, not by myself. AJ Quartermain helped.
You knew how much those stupid cards meant to Dad.
Right. I was the one who was left out in the cold, remember? Huh? I took the fall for Dad's misdeeds. So I think I'm entitled to little compensation.
Losing those cards broke him, Jerry. He lost the will to live because of you.
I think you might want to drop this, little brother, if you don't want to get your heart broken.
You son of a bitch. You killed our father.
No, Jax.
You did.
It was too late for Jerry to stop me. But he did surprise me in more ways than one. Excuse me, what are you doing in here? Only family members are allowed in here.
I am family. That's my father. And I just saw you injecting him with something that's going to kill him.
No, that's just something to help him sleep.
Right, a sedative for what the bastard did to your father. I know this drug. It's a slow-acting one that makes it appear that my father's going to die of natural death. It'll take a while, but you just killed him.
No, I was just treating.
Well, I could raise the alarm. Maybe they could revive him, but I think it's unlikely. He's already too weak. I must loathe this, lying there, useless. I know my father. He would rather be dead. And that's fortunate for you, Doctor. I won't report the murder you just committed. It'll be our little secret, and I'll use it.
You killed Jerry's father.
Do you have any idea where...
Tear it apart if you have to. Tell me what you find.
Do you have any idea where Jerry has the antidote?
I'll call you back. Shut up, Manning.
Fine. You stay here. You do nothing. You be noble and righteous and dead.
Make sure he doesn't get back in. How you feeling? You okay?
You didn't answer him. Do you have any idea where Jerry put the counteragent?
It depends. Do you know where those cards are?
I killed our father.
I was trying to save him, Jerry. Oh, come on, you were so desperate that you put all your faith in that psychiatrist that Lady Jane Hyde. The one, who was supposed to shrink his depression, remember? Dr. Ewan Keenan.
I knew that name. He was one of Dad's doctors.
And his executioner.
No, I'm not.